Most podcasts include intro and outro music or sound effects to make the episode feel more polished. In this video, we'll learn how to responsibly source audio online and how to add and edit multiple tracks in Audacity. Let's start with sourcing music and sounds. On the library homepage, go to Research Guides, and then under General Purpose Guides, select Makerspace, and then choose Podcast Studio. This guide includes helpful tips and resources for podcasting. On the left side, I've curated websites where you can find license-free music and sounds. I've also noted how each creator asks to be credited. For example, on Incompetech, the music is royalty-free, but you must credit the creator. Let's take a closer look. Here's a list of songs available to download. I'll choose Cloud Dancer. I can preview it, then download it. At the bottom, I see the attribution, which I'll copy for later use. This attribution text should be copied directly into your podcast credits, either spoken at the end of your episode or listed in your show notes. Every music website linked on the podcast LibGuide will have different layouts and attribution requirements. Now let's move to Audacity. To add the music to my podcast recording, I can drag the audio file into Audacity or go to File, select Import, then Audio. Now I have 2 tracks in my project. The first step is trimming the music since I don't need it to play for the full length. Using the Selection tool, I'll highlight the part I don't want, right-click and choose Cut. For a more detailed overview of trimming, check out our video on recording and editing in Audacity. Now that my clip is shorter, I'll zoom in for a closer view. If I play both tracks from the beginning, they overlap at full volume, and that's not what we want. Welcome to Threads of Time, the podcast where we unravel. To fix this, I'll split the music into 2 sections, one for the intro and one for the outro. I'll place my cursor where I want to cut, then either right-click and select Split Clip, or I can go to Edit, select Audio Clips, and then select Split. Now I can move these clips around. I'll position one at the start of the narration and the other at the end. I can also shift the narration track slightly to leave room for music in the intro. Let's listen. Welcome to Threads of Time, the podcast where we unravel the... The intro plays correctly, but it's too loud and ends abruptly. To smooth this out, I'll apply a fade-out effect. To do this, highlight the end of the clip, go to Effects, Fading, and select Fade Out. Welcome to Threads of Time, the podcast where we... For the outro, I'll do the opposite. Highlight the clip, go to Effects, Fading, and select Fade In. This is so the music will now gradually increase in volume. And explore how fashion has shaped history and how history has shaped fashion. Now I have a podcast of clean intro and outro music. The last step is saving and exporting. There are 2 parts to this. First, save your project in Audacity by going to File, Save Project, Save Project As. This creates an Audacity project file or a .aup3 that keeps everything editable. Then, when your podcast is finished, export it as a single audio file. Go to File, Select Export Audio, then export to computer to save as an MP3 or WAV file. This final file can be played on any audio player or uploaded to a podcast platform. And that's it! You've learned the basics of adding intro and outro music to Audacity. If you have more advanced editing questions, don't hesitate to reach out to the Makerspace staff or your librarian. We're always here to help.